Are we rolling?
On this episode of the Something to Prove podcast,
Dude, no energy.
we talk about drugs,
Let's do it again.
me sleeping with Mark's wife,
And letting good people go.
and letting good people go.
Wow.
Enjoy.
Wow. Let's go. Welcome
All right, you do your thing
to
too.
the Something to Prove podcast with Evan Carmichael and Mark
Oh,
Drager.
I got top billing this time.
Welcome to season
Wow.
2.
Is it season 2?
It's season 2.
Yeah, baby, this is so exciting.
Lots of changes
Mark.
for
Okay.
season 2.
What's the change?
Evan gets top billing.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
We are going to update our thumbnail with a photo of us.
Oh, that's good.
This is the best thing ever. Evan, last night, I guess, right?
I don't know.
Emails me, texts me or something, and says, hey, Mark, I need a photo of the two of us.
Right.
I'm like, dude, there are no photos of the
Right.
two of us. And you're like, what are you talking about? I go through the past. I find one photo that's like me resharing one of your IG lives of us at Tony Robbins in November. It's a terrible
Okay.
photo.
Okay.
And then there's one photo of us kind of sitting beside each other behind the scenes.
Okay.
We do not have any photos of the two of us.
Okay. Well, now we do. We
Isn't
took
that
one.
weird?
Maybe. I figured you're a sentimental guy. You'll find a picture, but maybe we didn't take one.
Not just the two of us. Anyway.
Just the two of us. Okay.
Anyway, so
took
season
one.
2.
Wait, so that picture that we took today with Danny is going to be the cover?
Danny just gave us a thumbs up.
All right.
I guess it's going to work into our new artwork.
All right. I like it.
And for season 2, I want to dig. I want to dig deeper.
Wait, how many episodes was season 1? 12?
Season 1 was 21 episodes.
21!
And 2 bonuses.
Wow! We pushed it.
Well,
I'm excited. That's great. 21
I didn't even
episodes.
want to do seasons. You were
Nah.
the one who came up with this.
No, you came up with it. No, we were in the car and you said something about it. I didn't even know podcasts had seasons. It's not my idea.
You're the one who said, "Are we ending season 1? When are we ending season 1?"
Because it came up in conversation around seasons.
Okay.
I don't
Anyway,
know how podcasts work.
Welcome everyone to the podcast. This is, of course, a place where we come together to hit those topics and those challenges that are hitting us head on. It's a place where we can hang out with friends and let you know that you're not alone in this journey of entrepreneurship. And more than anything, we want to leave you feeling like you can believe in yourself. Is that better?
Sure.
And something to prove.
We're working on it. By season 3, we'll have our intro down.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so as many of you guys may know or have heard at this point, last weekend we were in Dallas for Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. And you flew back, Sunday?
Yep.
An eventful flight. Louis and I flew back on Monday, and
Uneventful flight? I didn't tell you what happened on my flight.
no, I guess
Oh
not.
my God. Dude, okay. Not uneventful at all. So we got delayed a bunch of times, like, oh my gosh, let me please get home because the delays are ridiculous. But we finally took off, like, this is great. And then it was delayed because of operational issues somehow. Like they I don't know. Anyway.
You flew AA, right? American Airlines?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, out of
Doesn't
Dallas.
matter.
Yeah.
So we get in the air.
I have a great memory, by the way.
Exactly. So it was great. It was better because whenever in business class they have the 4 seats, you know it's a better flight. When it's only the 3 seats, it's not as good. So I was super pumped because it's the 4 seats. So like you get a better TV, you get better meals, amenities, all of it, right? So anyway, we're in the air, we're flying, whatever. It's like 3 hours? How long was the flight?
We didn't fly direct and we didn't fly business class, so I don't know.
Oh, well, the business class doesn't affect how long the flight is.
I know, but
right?
I just want to show how fancy you are. You're so fancy.
Anyway, so
Hey, do you still have your bracelet on?
Yeah, I have this one. No, this one.
You didn't keep your Tony
No,
Robbins?
because this thing always scratches Nina, and she gets upset.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. When you're in close combat, you know.
Wow. I'll leave it at that. I won't make
Right?
any jokes.
Right?
Okay,
Anyway,
so-
we're in the air.
Yeah.
We're in flight. We're about halfway through, and the plane is shaking like crazy, like up and down, turbulence. We apologize for the whatever. I don't know, ridiculous. And you know how I am on the plane. On the way to New Jersey, I'm getting ready to. Mark's talking to me on the way to Jersey for the last Tony event, and I've got Mark. I can't talk to you right now. Like my hand.
No, you were not that nice about it.
Mark, shut up.
You were basically interrupted. We talked about in the bonus episode how you're not a big fan of being interrupted because you kind of snap at people. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I felt it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, I'm feeling sick. I can't talk to Mark. I can't even process what he's saying because I feel like I'm going to vomit. So anyway, but I didn't vomit, so that felt great.
You didn't pass out. You
I
didn't
didn't
break
pass
your
out. I
neck.
didn't vomit. I just needed to not talk to Mark for the rest of the flight until we landed, and then maybe like 10 minutes after we landed, I feel like just to recover.
Anyway, so
I'm in Dallas, so you already know like how I'm susceptible. So the plane it feels like it's worse than we had on Jersey. It's just a little bit bigger. So what, was it 2 or 3 across?
It was 2
It
and
was
2.
2 and 2? Was it 2 and 2? I
Yeah.
feel like it wasn't 2 and 2. Anyway,
You
so
feel like it wasn't. Well, I remember that it was 2 and 2.
was it 2 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I believe that, but it's okay. So the plane's getting super rocky, up and down, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is. I'm glad the guy next to me wasn't trying to talk to me. Then, in the middle of me, like, trying to get like, right? The guy, you can only see one guy in your plane, right? There's the guy to the right, like forward. I can't see the guy ahead of me, but the guy next to him, right?
Yeah, through the seats or whatever, right?
Suddenly starts taking out his handkerchief and he's like, we're like,
Oh,
oh my
wow.
God, I can't watch this. Let me look somewhere else. And then he vomits in his handkerchief. It starts coming out like, and then
He didn't have the bag? He didn't have the bag?
in his handkerchief, right? And then it's the worst. And then,
the best.
And then he's like, but his thing was so full of vomit or whatever, right? So then he goes, and then he looks at the guy next to him and all over the guy. It's so bad. And they're in suits and everything, right? These fancy business class people. They're in suits. It's all over his leg and arm. And like, I don't even want to see that other guy. Just imagine you're sitting next to the guy and he just spews all over you.
Business class and he pukes. And
Spews all over you.
How far into the flight is this? Like halfway?
Halfway through, yeah. It's like
So
an
he's
hour
sitting
and a
for
half
like
in.
an hour and a half just in a,
Oh, yeah.
in a
Yeah. And
puked-on
then he
suit.
vomits again off of his screen and it bounces back on. So nice. And like, I can't see that. I can't watch this. I feel so gross right now. I'm trying not, but you can't help but you gotta look, right? Even though you don't want to look, you gotta see what's happening
my
next.
goodness.
Anyway, and then they finally bring him this giant vomit bag, but he didn't have it, or he didn't think to look in the thing, or I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, it was nasty. I felt so bad for the guy next to him who just
Yeah.
got spewed all
I
over.
feel bad for that guy too. It's embarrassing.
Oh my God, brutal. And then he gets up and he goes to the bathroom, and I don't know if he vomited more, but I'm still trying to hold it all in. But then what hits you is the smell.
Yeah.
Then there's the smell of this other dude's vomit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can't look, but then this is so bad. I'm trying not to vomit the whole time. I didn't vomit.
I've had 4
I'm
kids.
amazing.
I'm used to lots of
That's
vomit.
awesome.
I'm used to it.
Vomit itself doesn't bother me. It's the fact that I wanted to vomit because
Yeah.
I was being bounced around in the airplane.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't go into all the vomit stories I have
Yeah,
with my kids.
no,
but
that's fine. If there's vomit or like dog vomit, or Alex actually can't handle any kind of vomit. That part's fine. I don't care, but it's that I wanted to vomit and now I'm smelling it and seeing it. And I've never seen that. I've seen one person maybe vomit into a bag.
Yeah.
I've never seen them vomit on the person next to them.
about
so
a
bad.
week ago, about a
It's
week
so
ago,
bad.
there's a video on Reddit of a woman and a man on one of those amusement park rides that goes around and upside down.
Oh,
and like
this is
20
gonna get
seconds
nasty.
into it, she just gets sick.
So
but
gross,
she
dude.
just there's video of it, and she just keeps getting sick. But because they're flipping, it keeps like
Coming back at her
splashing
face?
around, and
That's
the dude
nasty.
beside, and the guy's trying to wave for them to stop the ride, but the ride isn't stopping.
I feel like that's the ride I was on. My
That's it. So
my
that's
uneventful
that
flight.
was your uneventful flight.
Yeah, well, then he went to the bathroom, and then they brought up like all these cleaning supplies,
Of
and they
course.
started wiping it down, and then the ride settled out, and so it ended up being a fine rest of the way. But
That's
that
a great
was
story.
That was rough.
That's the type of story that you tell for years.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, we flew Delta.
I wish it was Drager though getting vomited on. That would have been a great story.
Thank you, but no thank you. So anyway, the only thing that caught my we flew Delta, and I'm all about words and language and why people do what they do and say what they say and kind of stuff. And Delta refused to call it turbulence.
Okay.
They kept calling it rough air.
Okay.
You know, like how when they go through the safety, they say, should we land over water? And it's like, you don't land over water, you crash. Right? Like there was
Oh, I
one
see.
plane once that landed on the water
Right.
on the Hudson, and it was a miracle.
Uh-huh.
But you don't land over water, you crash into the water.
Okay.
But they don't call it turbulence anymore.
Oh,
They
really?
kept apologizing and say, oh, sorry, we've hit a patch of rough air. And in the safety video, they say, should we hit rough air?
Oh, really? I don't remember hearing that.
I'm thinking, how much market research did they do to figure out that rough air is something that makes people feel okay rather than turbulence?
I feel
Isn't
like
that
they
weird?
said turbulence. I feel like they said turbulence.
Yeah, American. Yeah, it makes sense.
Rough
I've never
air.
heard that before. Rough air.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
Yeah. Did it feel rough? Rough air?
Definitely felt rough.
Would you laugh, though, if they're like, excuse me, I'm sorry, we seem to have hit some rough air, and meanwhile you're bouncing around and dudes are puking everywhere?
At that point, I don't think I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm just trying not to vomit on myself or the dude next to me.
Oh, man.
That was nasty. I saw the whole thing. I can't believe
More than
it.
this story, I love listening to you tell this story.
Oh, it's so nasty. I feel a little gross just thinking about it right now.
Good. Well, on that note, let's get into the topic of the week.
I never thought. I felt like I never thought he was going to actually vomit. That's the thing. You see the guy going like that, like, oh, I hope he's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like, oh! Yeah. Oh. On his suit, and the guy next to him splashing off the TV. Anyway, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I hijacked Mark's topic only because he said I had an uneventful flight.
Well, I assumed it was uneventful because you weren't IG Live.
You know what happens when you assume, Mark?
You make heroes out of everyone.
Hire Phantom Media.
We'll make lots of assumptions on your behalf. Okay, so two potential topics.
No, we already picked one.
One is
We
the
already said
smart
the
one. The other one's from my heart.
Heart,
Which one's your
heart,
better?
heart. Let's go. Yes, go.
Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about saying goodbye to good people.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so when you start a business, when you're running a business, when you're leading anything, it's your job to bring people along, to set the vision, to say, I want you to come and help me do this thing. Please help me. And then at a certain point, because of skills or culture or personalities or budget or for a whole slew of reasons, you have to say, hey, this person that I wanted to bring along with me and I wanted you to help me, you can't be a part of this anymore. Mm-hmm. And when it's a salesperson and they're simply not selling.
But are you telling them you can't be a part of this anymore? Or are they saying, I'm out? You're telling them.
So
why don't you share? Are you going to share? Are you going to say what you're talking about, or are we speaking hypotheticals?
No. So listen, if someone sits down and quits, that's tough because you go into at least I go into fight mode. Like, okay, so what do I got to do, and how am I going to do this, and how can I what does it cost me, and what are the risks, and how do I replace it, and all of that stuff. So you feel like you're losing something. But what I want to talk about is letting people go.
So you let him go. Okay, share the story, Mark.
So we have a few team members this week that we've let go, and
but for different reasons.
For different reasons.
Okay.
I won't get too specific in everything, but I can think back.
How many people do you let go of this week? 3?
2.
Oh, just 2?
2.
That was 3. Okay.
Yeah. And so, I've had team members, like I've been running my company for 13 years, and I have team members where when we come to Christmas time and I think about having our office party or Christmas party, I genuinely miss them. And I genuinely miss, because I'm sentimental, I genuinely miss the time.
Very sentimental.
And I miss the friendship. And I think, oh my goodness, I wish that they were still here. But there are times, earlier today, unfortunately, we had to let someone go on our team. And I so love this person.
Me too. Well, actually, I love both the people that you let go.
You don't even know the other person.
What do you mean? What? Yesterday.
Huh?
Yesterday.
On Tuesday? Our copywriter?
Oh, no, the other guy, Jason.
Oh, Jason.
Are we not talking about Jason?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is why, Mark, tell me who we're talking about.
Oh, I didn't even think about Jason.
You start before we came on here. Drager's in here talking about how somebody had to be let go, and it was crying.
So three people this week. 3 people this week.
Okay.
So someone we let go.
I love Jason
because of skill set.
I love the other guy. I didn't meet the third person.
Yeah. So Jason. Okay, let's back up then. I didn't even realize we were talking about Jason. We're talking about 2 different people.
You just said he was crying just before we went live.
Okay.
And now,
so I have a videographer that follows me around and works with me 2 days a week that came on board. He came to Cleveland with me to see Evan on the live tour. And at the live tour, Jason admitted to Evan that his main passion is to be a director of photography, not to edit, not to do anything kind of editorial, but he wants to direct. Mm-hmm. The thing is, the person I need is someone who can help direct and shoot, but also edit.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Evan's like, you can't be here.
Yeah.
You can't do this. And Jason's like, no, I can do it. And you're like, you can't. You can't do this because the more time you spend here, the more time that you're comfortable doing this, only doing half of the things you love, 1, you're not doing everything Mark needs you to do, but 2, you're actually distracted from pursuing your greater dream.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Good. I believe it.
And that's what you said. And so we've been talking about it. I've been very open with Jason, but we go out and we put a posting for a full-time person who's going to edit and shoot. We find the full-time person. The person comes on board for a month. And then I say, Jason, I need you to come in 1 more day.
Wow.
And so he comes in yesterday, and he helps me and Steve, the new Jason, work through
Steve?
stuff. I like Steve a lot.
Yeah, we like Steve? Okay.
Yeah.
Haven't met Steve? Oh, I kind of met him. No? You said this guy's the new Jason when I came in?
Yeah, okay.
I don't really know him.
And so the thing is, I run a larger company, and so Jason's still on our team. He still comes out freelance. He's still going to direct for us and that stuff. He's just not going to work with me. And so to me, I can kind of transition this.
I didn't feel that though from the post. I didn't.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
So he's moving off, and he's going to work with other stuff, but just not with me.
Right.
And so I'm like, Jason, this is just a small change.
That's a big change, dude. If you
It's
get to be in the Drager circle
But he
of
comes in at the
awesomeness,
end of the day.
and then you get kicked out.
He comes in at the end of the day
sad
and he
days.
goes,
I get it, dude.
He goes, Mark,
I get it.
is this it? And I go, yeah,
Yep.
this is it. And he's like, and he gulps.
Yep.
And he's just like,
I'm so sad.
and I'm like, dude, this is like the last day of high school. This is like,
It's a big deal.
suddenly I'm like,
Imagine when
I'm
our
really
last,
sad.
dude, our last podcast episode. Maybe it's season 2. Hey, listen, at some point, this podcast is going to end,
oh, no, don't say that.
right?
Don't
maybe
say
maybe
that.
it's the end of season 2. You getting the gulp already? Like,
Yeah, I get sentimental. Anyway, and so yeah, and I'm like, that's it. It's the end of the day. You're going home. And he's
Wow.
just, and I was just like,
that's
I want to
intense.
bring you out when I do big things, but I have no plans. And I want you to work for Fanta, but I'm not the one working with you. And like I love working with that guy.
Yeah, me too.
He has so much heart.
Yep.
And I have to say goodbye.
Yep.
Because what I need in the role is someone who wants to edit and loves to edit, and someone who can shoot.
And be
And
mentored.
Jason doesn't want to do that. He
Yep.
doesn't like it. And keeping him, I even offered him a full-time role. And he said, I learned too much on freelance. I experienced too many things. I just can't give that up.
Yep.
And so he wants to work with me, and I want to work with him. And yet we have to say goodbye.
Yep. It's the right thing to do.
It's this dude's fault.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's sad. It's sad. Who I thought you were talking about is earlier today. We had to let someone go.
Oh yeah, I like
who
that.
I also
like him too. Yeah, I like
genuinely.
Adore.
Genuinely, yes,
Yeah.
I adore him, and it's just like a fit thing. And so this is why I've never talked about this, and it's something that I've actually experienced. When you have to let someone go because they're not doing their job, or you're upset with them, or they frustrate you, or they're not hitting their targets.
Way easier.
It's still a tough thing because it's a big change, but it's just like, this has to be done.
Yeah.
But, you are the guy who collects great people.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to push those great people away. How do you do that? How do you do that and not miss them? How do you come to it? Yeah, you.
Okay, so
How do you come to it quickly?
So here's
and
the
not,
so
and not rationalize it.
So I'll tell you theory, and then we'll actually workshop it. It depends on what I default to what's best for them. What is the best thing for them? So like Jason needed to move on. He had to move on. Like it's what's best for him. He has to. He got what he needed, and now this is actually going to slow his progress. So he needs to move on. For the other guy, I don't know all the reasoning behind it.
That's confidential, but yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I would default, I think even to a fault, to say, is there anything else? Like if the best thing is actually with me, but not in this role, is there anything else I can do, create a new role to make this thing happen, right? I look at a guy on my team, Luca, who does all my comments on YouTube, and sometimes overflow into the other ones, but Luca, I loved. He's the brother of a guy on my team named Ivan. I love this guy. He did part-time work for me, and I loved him. I'm like, Luca, I want you to come on full-time. And he talked to Alex. He talked to Alex's old fiance just to see what it's like working with me. And he had a choice between working for me and working for some, I don't know, chemical company or something. I don't remember.
Oh, gosh.
I don't remember. It
Like,
wasn't.
no comparison.
Well, no, but like in terms of
title, maybe. In terms
Title,
of
prestige,
career
like-
progress, of course, yeah.
all this stuff. So he said at the end of the day, you know what, Evan, I love working for you, but I'm gonna go pick this path. Awesome, dude. I'm pumped for you. Go for it. I hire somebody else to do it, right? I need the role. I mean, I still need to have that role. The role was causing a stress, so I wanted to find somebody. I thought of Luca. He doesn't want to do it. Great. Maybe 4 months later, he comes back. He says, Evan, I made a huge mistake. I don't want to work at that chemical company. Do you still have a role for me?
So big on him for being willing to admit it.
Sure.
And then being willing to reach out
Yeah.
and then take, that's some vulnerability there.
Yeah, I realize this isn't for me. I don't like the people there. I mean, it's not what I want to do. And I keep thinking about that job you offered me. Can I do it? Is there any role? And my instinct was, yes, you're in. But I already hired for that role.
Right.
I already hired for that role. So now I hired somebody without having a role.
Well, so where
So
you're
now I
going
needed
with
to
this, though,
now I needed to figure out
is
because
collecting good people
Yeah.
and bringing them in and holding on to them. I think we talk about that. I think we think about that. This is the reason why this is in my heart, and it wasn't even something I was going to talk about today, is it sucks to push away great people.
okay, but that's a different story, right?
That's what I'm talking about, though.
No,
with,
but
with
the,
Jason, I have
but
to
the
say
second
Jason
guy
out of the
well,
nest.
I don't know how. Yeah, yes. So there's two scenarios. One, they're better with you, but they're in the wrong role, and then I will probably to a fault try to create a role even if it doesn't make the most short-term sense because we maneuver. And Luca's changed from being comments to then doing research. I don't want to do comments. I want to do research for the videos. I don't want to do research. I want to do comments, right? Like, we switched up his role tons of times.
He sounds a little indecisive.
But that's part of the when you're young and you're trying to figure stuff out, that's part of the process.
Okay.
I'm okay with that because the intention is always good. He's always been a hard worker. He cares deeply, and so I know when he commits to something, it's going to be great. So I want him on my team. I want to collect him, right? I think he's better off with me than something else, right? I think this is a great role for him. I think Alex with TDS is the thing he needs to be doing. Like, it's just so the right fit for what he needs to do in his life that every other job or opportunity pales in comparison. Selfishly, it's great for me too because of somebody to run and operate this business, but I could find somebody else. He's the guy, he has to do it, right? And so if he's ever quitting or wavering or doubting, like, dude, this is your thing, you have to do it, right? Because it's the best thing for them, irregardless of me. I take myself out of the equation. Is this the best thing? If it is the best thing for them to be around you, then I struggle and fight to try to create the role. If it's not the best thing, if they should leave and they should go do something else, I never see them as fully leaving, to be honest, because stuff will happen, right? Opportunities will come back. You'll end up doing something together, but sometimes you need to kick them out, and it's the best thing for them. So I'm going to go through this at some point soon too, because my camera guy Danny here he wants to do his own Netflix stuff. So we'll deal with it, not in just hypotheticals,
Not
but
he wants to. He has
this is
to.
happening. He has to, right?
He has to.
He has to. So I've been pushing hard. His thing is he wants to have he wants to do his own Netflix show. Okay, so we had a conversation not that long ago when I came back from the tour. I don't know, Danny, a couple weeks ago? When did we talk? When did we sit at my place? Something like that? I'm like, dude, we're missing, like, I feel like we're just photocopying what we're doing. It's great, but we need more momentum. And this dude has crazy passion, energy, and storytelling, and like, we need to bring more. We need to inject more of that into my content somehow, because I want to co-create, not just do the same thing over. So then he got a new idea for what we should do. We filmed some special video that we're waiting on him to edit.
Secret special
video coming soon. But ultimately, he needs to go and do his own thing, right? And I want to be the bridge to help him get there faster. So his thing is Netflix or something of that ilk. And so an opportunity came up where he could be on the set and be behind the camera, not the lead guy, but be a part of the team to film a Netflix show, documentary show. I don't know all the details, but it's like a 3-month gig plus extensions, multiple series potentially, and once you're in it, creates connections to do more things, right? So he like, dude, you gotta go do that thing. Right? And I'm talking to my contact who set this whole thing up. Like, dude, can I help? Like, how do we make this happen? What advice do you have? Can I be a advocate, or can I play a role to help Danny get this thing? Because he should do it, right? Now, where does that leave me, right? I mean, I'm out of luck. I'm screwed. Eventually I know Danny's going to have to go, and I'm going to have to find something else. But also in the short window, I'm thinking about, well, what happens between now and the end of the year, because that filming would be in October or something, so I've got to figure that out. And then when I go on my new tour next year, that's 3 months on the road that I need somebody with me.
I think you're assuming Danny even wants to spend 3 months with you again.
That was a question too. Like, listen, that's how I started to say, dude, we haven't talked about what we're going to do next year. On this tour, Danny popped out a couple times to go do he had another client. He popped out, and that was fine, and we adjusted. On this tour, part of the deal is we're doing events in every city, and the publisher wants content for every city. It's a book tour now. It's not just a speaking gig tour, right? So if you're whoever's doing a video, you have to be there every day, at least for our events, right? And we can't adjust this time around. There's no flexibility. So I said, I don't know if that's
Okay. So this is all stuff you're thinking through.
yeah,
But how are you going to feel when
I'll feel-
when Danny's like, thanks, Evan.
I'll feel super pumped for him.
Okay.
Like I'll default into Danny mode. Like if Danny, I want Danny. I'm getting emotional. Like I want Danny so much to get the Netflix thing. I'm literally like tearing up. I want Danny so much to get the Netflix thing because that's why we started this thing. I wanted him to use me as a bridge to go do the thing that he wanted to do, and we did it. Right? It's like it's somebody who knew me, who then learned about Danny's goal, who said, hey, I want to vouch for you. And Danny still have to go and deliver. Hopefully the meeting went well and they hire him to do it. But like, I want him to go do that thing. Even though it leaves me with, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? I mean, I've got my workshop in September. We need to have content.
So did I not do enough for Jason then?
Oh, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm lost right now, dude, to be honest.
You're lost at what?
I'm just
'Cause you're
lost
so
in the
Danny
yeah.
mode?
I'm so in Danny. Like I can't tell you how much I want Danny to get this so badly. It means so much to me that he gets this thing,
Right.
or it just didn't work out, or just not for lack of effort, right? His effort or my effort. That
Okay, so you want him to succeed and you want him to win. So
Yeah.
forget my question about Jason. Let's stay on this path. 3 years from now, you wake up and you're like, I wonder what Danny's doing. Man, remember how good that was? And he's such a good
no,
guy.
I won't do that. I mean,
No?
I will think about. I wonder how Danny's doing, and I'll message him. Hey, Danny, what are you up to? I do that randomly, but I won't be sentimental to be like, oh man, Danny was so much better than this.
This makes me
punk
sad
that I
because
have.
when we're no longer friends, I'm gonna still remember how good that was to be friends with Evan Carmichael, and you're gonna be like,
Yeah, I'll think about Danny every now and then I'll see, like I want Danny to keep me posted, and I'll follow him on Instagram, and every now and then I pop in on people, see how they're doing, and it pumps. Like I'm super pumped. Like we had Boya come to our event.
this is just indicative though of every topic we have. I'm waiting for Michael Lamont to watch this on YouTube, and he's literally going to comment, this is the difference between abundance mentality and scarcity mentality, right? Like, I see it as losing someone great or an opportunity great, and you see it as sending them on their way, and you're totally pumped because you're open to what's next.
Well, and it's going to come back, dude. Like Danny's going to do something. Listen, first off, wherever Danny goes, it's not as great a boss as me. That's for sure.
Oh, we just got a thumbs up from behind the scenes.
There's no way that anybody that Danny ever works for cares as much about Danny in the limited amount of time they spend together as me. I just believe that. But so what does that lead to? That's going to be something else will happen with Danny down the line. Danny is working on some major motion picture and like wants me to come in and have a cameo role like Tony Robbins did in the Shallow Hal movie or something, right? Like Danny releasing his genius into the world and doing his thing will come back to me. It's going to help somehow. I just have faith that it's going to come back. More so than if he was stuck here doing the same thing over and over again.
So I guess the difference between you and Danny and you and your team and maybe the other entrepreneurs who are more like me is you're getting Danny prepped and sending him off. But you're not saying like, hey, next week, Danny, even though you're not fully there, this is it.
It's what's best for him. No, but it might be, dude. Like if I really felt that was the best thing for me to like, Danny, dude, I'm an anchor for you. This is too much comfort for you, and you need to now swim on your own. I would do that.
Danny, I don't have a mic on you. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree with everything Evan says.
You agree with it?
Yeah, 100%. I would be the same way about the issues.
I just miss good people.
I miss good people too, but not when it's the best thing for them to go off and do it.
I know. It makes sense. It makes sense on paper. Yesterday with Jason, it makes sense on paper. Today with a person, they were so warm and gracious and accepting of it. They said, literally when I said we have to have a hard conversation, they said, okay, yeah, I'm ready for this. It all made sense from all parties for all sides, and yet at the end I gave the guy a hug.
Okay.
Because I'm just like I just want like the best of luck for you.
Yeah.
And you know, we're emotional people, right? I used to try and be friends with everyone on my team. I can't be friends with everybody. But when I like someone so much, it just sucks to say goodbye to them. That's it.
Sure. I mean, I messaged Jason. I sent him a DM when I
know.
saw the story. I don't know what I said, but it felt good.
You said, I'm cheering for you.
Something like that.
And then he, or you said, I appreciate you. One of you
He
said.
wrote back, I appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw the story, you tagged me, so I saw it. Yeah.
But these are listen, these are the things that I never thought about when I was starting my business. I certainly thought about hiring and vision and let's build a team and culture. And I've certainly let a lot of people go over the years. It's just as I do this more for longer and longer, and as our team grows, there are these new dimensions to to the business that sometimes are just a little bit more sad.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't feel these feelings, I understand.
I don't feel that, but I feel like, yeah, I'm pumped. I'd be pumped. I'm pumped. I'm sad a little bit, but I'm more pumped. I'm pumped for Jason. It's the right thing to do. It's what he should do. I'm very excited. And I'm excited for Danny to get his gig. It's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's have some fun questions.
There you go. Transition. Let's go, Mark. What do you got?
So we're going to have some of your questions, so go ahead and drop them into the question box. But before we do, I have some fun questions prepared
Very
for
exciting.
Mr. Evan Carmichael. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
First question.
Yep.
What is something,
Uh-huh.
materialistic, I'm hoping not experience, but what is something you
Materialistic.
want
Just lean in
but
on.
would really struggle to actually lay out for?
Something materialistic that I want, but I would struggle to lay out for.
Yes. Not because you don't have the money, or maybe you don't have the money, but just like it's a little bit like, ooh, I would really want this, but what does that say about me? Could I do it, this or that?
The private jet membership.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, you are so obsessed with flying.
No, I travel,
Yeah.
and private jet membership is 6 figures just for the membership, and then
Yes.
you pay for
Each flight
Yeah.
and gas and stuff.
I can't get to that being worth it.
Is that because of, let's be fair, is that because of the income bracket or the wealth you have, or this is actually like just like a value thing in your mind? Like I just couldn't bring myself to do that.
The smaller piece of it is I'm worried that a small plane would be even more worrisome on jet lag. But I
Jet
can
lag or turbulence?
turbulence.
Rough air.
Rough air. Sorry, not jet lag. But the big one, I can't get I do the calculations, and it's just not worth it. I can't get my head around that it's worth it.
If you travel enough,
Yeah.
and it's the direct flights in and out of the very place you're staying,
Yeah.
that tends to make it worth it for people.
Maybe.
So rather than having to go to LAX and then take the thing, whatever, you fly into the little town.
Right.
You land right there. It's 20 minutes to your thing, and then once your speaking thing's done, you're back on the plane. There's no security. There's no like you're literally in and out.
Sure.
That's how people justify it.
We're spoiled. I mean, we're in Toronto. It's easy to get to the airport. I'm right off the highway, 20-minute drive.
That's true.
I don't know that at least in my head, I can't get around it being enough. I don't fly enough that the fixed cost makes sense. The variable cost, sure, but the fixed cost of the $6K to get in, I can't get my head around it yet. I've gone back.
I like that.
I've looked at it. I don't know. I want to say like 7 or 8 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've looked at it enough that that's impressive to me. You look at it enough that it's not like a can I afford it or not. Is it a value to you or not?
Yeah, and I think it'd be cool too. It'd be
Mr.
fun.
Evan
Like,
Carmichael
listen, if we were going to Dallas for
But then we could just charter a plane if we wanted to. It'd be $12,000 to fly.
yeah, or
there,
something
right?
like that, or you could, I mean, that's actually the easy step in is just charter a flight instead of
Yeah.
go for the membership.
Membership.
Yeah,
And it still gives you everything. Yeah, it still gives you everything that
Yeah.
you need.
yeah.
Interesting.
I don't feel like I fly enough to justify it, but maybe my scarcity mindset is kicking in.
Okay. So for me, it's the Porsche that I want, that I've always wanted.
Porsche drivers are losers, dude. Don't talk to them.
What are you talking about? Because you drive a Porsche?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean a real Porsche. A 911 GT3. So that's really what I want, but...
You got to finish your Mini first, Mark. He's been working on this Mini restoration project for the past 18 years.
A little bit more than that now.
Really? I was going high. I
Probably
thought I was
almost-
joking with
probably-
18 years.
Dude, I bought it my last year of high school.
Wow, that's pretty
So I
bad,
was
dude.
19.
That's
No, I
pretty
guess
bad.
not. I guess not 20 years yet. No, I wasn't. I
So
was. I
actually
wasn't in my
18.
last year. It's older than that.
Oh, okay.
I bought it in It's 19 years. 19 years.
Close.
Bought it in 2000. Yeah. Okay. What is? Okay. to get what you want.
Uh-huh.
So, boom, you want to be a name brand name.
Okay.
You didn't like that boom, eh?
Boom. I'm
Boom.
like, to get what you want,
10
boom.
million.
It didn't make no sense.
10 million
It didn't make no
subscribers.
sense.
You know, to be a household name, to get what you want,
Uh-huh.
it would cost you one dear, close relationship. Would you sacrifice that close, dear relationship to get what you want? Like big style, like you go to bed and the next day you wake up.
I don't know. You
and
got to
you're
give who?
I don't want to say Nina because that's too
No.
close. It's
Nina
too
would be
hard.
No way.
Hayden.
No.
No, that's too close and too
For
dear?
sure, yeah, for
Fine.
sure.
Your sister.
No.
Okay, wow. Okay, good.
Direct family, no.
Direct family.
To say
Mark Drager.
I'm going to sacrifice
Mark
my
Drager.
relation. Mark Drager.
Yeah, okay, let's make it
Let me
harder.
think about this
I'm
one.
not direct family.
So
So you
I get
no,
my
no.
goals.
No, and you don't just cut me out.
Uh-huh.
You hurt me.
Oh.
No, the intention, that whole like, don't worry, I can save it with intention. No. You sacrifice that relationship.
What do I do? What do I have to do to you?
I don't know. You do something that makes it fatal and
Like
painful
what?
and
What
hurtful.
would that be for you? What would that actually
Um,
be to make it painful that I couldn't recover from it no matter what I did? You got to
Your
put me in
ego,
that zone.
your ego starts to drive you. You start to make decisions that put your best interest above
Oh, come on.
other
this
people.
Is too, dude.
What?
Something boom, something fatal, man. Like a moment, not just like you transition to an egomaniac. That sucks.
But to me, that transition, like in the moment of it happening, yeah, you acting cold.
I'm not there
You
with you.
acting cold and distant.
No, I got to do something that I wouldn't do. I got to.
No, like right now I'm getting like all like in the pit of my stomach, I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it. No, you being like cold and distant,
I'm not there with you.
and
Cold and distant. Jesus.
you're just not being you.
No.
Whatever.
But that-
doesn't
but that-
matter. You do something that.
But what's the something?
I don't
this
know.
matters.
You come up with it.
No, I need to know what I would have to do to you
I'm telling you.
to say that's it. I'm done.
I'm telling you. You being cold and distant and not being you, not being the things that make you you, not believing, not caring.
I'm not there with you. It's not enough.
I don't know.
So I need to get into frame of mind. I would do this.
Fine.
I would have
you
to
do
do
it.
this.
Why are you making me do all the work? You get into the frame
No,
of mind.
because I need to know what am I doing to
You're
sacrifice
doing
the relationship.
Something fatal.
What? I need to know what it is. What am I doing that's fatal?
I don't know. This is bad. This is bad.
Like I'm going to burn down
podcasting
your
now.
house? If I burn down your house, can I save that relationship? I feel like I could.
You're ignoring the rules of the question. Would you
No,
do
I'm
it?
not. No.
Would you do it or
I'd
not?
have to like
Would
burn
you do
down
it
your
or
house
not?
with your kids in it or something. I don't think
I
you.
can't
you,
imagine
you would-
burning down
you,
my house
You
with
couldn't
my
forgive me
kids
for
in
that.
it.
You couldn't forgive me for that. I don't think you could forgive me. I don't think you would talk to me again if I did that.
I think the number one thing that I would feel the most hurt of is cold,
No.
distance,
No.
and uncaring, because that's not you. I'm okay with angry Evan because it means love.
Burning down the house with your kids in it?
You're not going to do that. Like, what are you going to do? Like,
Well, I wouldn't do any of this stuff. That's not the point. What would I do?
I'm saying you being cold and distant and uncaring would be enough for me to be like what? And then you're just suddenly going to come back and turn it back on? No.
No, I could save that. Of course I could. Mark?
Whatever.
Mark.
That's not the point. We're going to move on to the
That's
next
not
question.
fatal.
then.
That's not fatal.
Fine. Something fatal.
That's not fatal. Say,
Something
Mark,
fatal.
dude, you know what? I realized over the past 2 years, I've been the biggest jackass in the world, and I hurt you, and I'm really sorry.
Fine. Whatever. You sleep with my wife.
Damn, dude, I'm screwed over with my wife.
Yeah. There you go.
I wouldn't do that because it hurts Nina too much. I don't think I would do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could hurt somebody so badly with intention for my own ambition.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
you wouldn't do it.
I need scenarios.
You
But-
wouldn't do it?
But I would not sleep with Jacqueline to get 10 million subscribers. Unless we all
10
had
million.
some collusion behind this.
Such a weird conversation.
You brought it up, dude. You brought
You're
it
the
up.
one who made it. Had to have the specifics of it.
Listen, I don't think there's any scenario where burning down the house with the kids is okay. I think if we all colluded somehow, maybe there's a scenario. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Awesome.
How about you, Mark? Is this a one-way question?
Yeah, to get what I want would cost me one dear relationship.
But it's not just the cost. It's not just the status of the
No, no, no,
relationship.
it's
what you say about yourself to do it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It really does depend on the relationship, doesn't it?
Jesus, you and your questions.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm trying to come up with harder questions for you
All right.
because otherwise they're too easy. You ready? You ready for another hard one?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite salad topping?
Mushrooms?
Mushrooms are your favorite salad topping.
I'm just maybe craving mushrooms right now. Good
I ate
mushroom.
mushrooms at the LaGuardia airport for the first time. Like, I don't really eat mushrooms, but we did a spinach, walnut, mushroom kind of cook thing with our steak, and I have to tell you, they were good.
If I'm going healthy, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's whatever, I don't know, marshmallows, dude, for sure.
Favorite
Oreo donuts, man. Yes.
on a salad.
Yeah,
With the
forget it.
dressing and everything. That
Who
sounds
said dress? I
disgusting.
don't put dressing on my salad.
You don't put oil and vinegar or lemon?
Very rare. Sometimes
Lemon and salt?
Lemon, salt.
Wow.
But whatever. If I could eat an Oreo donut and the condition was put lemon and salt on it, that's fine. That's no problem.
Are you still on keto? I know you finished your 18-day challenge, but I mean, you
Yeah.
totally went off on Dallas.
Yeah.
I stayed on
at the end,
keto.
at
I
the
stayed
end,
on
yeah.
IF.
Yeah.
I came back. Did I tell you I came back lighter than I left?
Nice,
2
dude.
pounds lighter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And in the last podcast, a special podcast, when I was listening back, we were talking about how much weight I lost since Tony Robbins.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I don't know, 10 or 12 pounds. And you were like, really? That's it? And then I did the math, and it was more, actually. So
See?
you were right.
I
But
know.
my favorite
Felt it.
salad topping
Felt it.
is seafood.
Ooh, what kind of seafood? Like shrimp?
I like shrimp.
Ooh,
I like
shrimp. Like buttered shrimp?
Oh gosh,
Oh
dude!
my God, buttered shrimp would destroy
Dude,
my
in
life.
Dallas, the shrimp we had was grilled shrimp wrapped in bacon, and then
Ooh.
it was a garlic champagne butter
Ooh,
sauce
ooh.
that we dipped it in.
So much good and bad in that same thing.
You don't like bacon?
Not on shrimp, and not with
Dude,
champagne.
have you never? No, but the champagne. No, it wasn't like bubbly
No.
champagne. It was cooked down.
I don't
Right?
know.
Do you
I
not
don't
have
know.
scallops with bacon?
It's okay. Scallops are different. Shrimp, a good shrimp with
Wrapped in
butter,
bacon?
like that's all
Oh,
you need. That's
dude.
fine.
Anyway, I like crab. I love crab.
Crab is okay.
Not that
Scallops?
big fan of. I mean, I'll eat lobster, but scallops I love.
Scallops.
Shrimp
Shrimp
grilled,
is number one.
grilled like octopus or calamari or something.
Yeah, feeling it in that.
Pretty much anything.
Anything. I
Mussels.
love anything. Mussels.
I like mussels.
Mussels.
Like oysters.
Oh, I don't like oysters.
Can't have oysters because they're high in carbs. You know that?
I don't really. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
don't eat oysters anyway.
Anyway, that's what I put on a salad.
All right.
I feel like you didn't really answer the would you sacrifice question. You
It's all
didn't.
on you, dude. That
You
one is
didn't.
all on you.
You
Okay? I
didn't.
need to know what I need to do.
I don't know.
But
you
probably
hurt me.
not.
You hurt me really deep.
But
You
I need
pushed
to
me
know-
out of the nest.
But you're saying what I did is fatal, right? If I
Sure.
push you out of the nest,
Yeah.
I feel like I can save it 3 years later. Tell me, the whole being cold and distant, why it's such garbage is because what I just said, dude, I've been a jackass for the past 2 years. I'm really sorry, man. You would forgive me, and then I'd have my 10 million, and I'd have you back as a friend. It's great.
And I say, where the hell have you been for the last 2 years? Dude, I needed
Messing
you,
up,
and you
dude.
weren't even there.
I'm so sorry, dude. It's all me.
No, I can't risk being hurt again. I feel like Dolly Parton right now.
not true. It's not
You hurt me once.
No, you'll be fine.
Okay, let's go ahead and hit some of these questions.
All right.
Are you ready?
Wow, look at the questions. What do you got?
Okay, we got Nader Sabri. I'm writing my first book. What advice about traditional versus self-publishing? What's your advice about traditional versus self-publishing? Evan has written published books and self-published. I have done neither, so why don't you answer the question?
Depends on your ambitions. Your actions have to map to your ambitions. What do you want? If you just want to get a book done because it's on your bucket list, go self-publish. It's easy. You get it up there. You can say you wrote a book. It's on Amazon. You can order it. Awesome. You've written the book. If your ambition is money, self-publish because you'll make more from your books if you self-publish than if you go with a publisher. If your ambition is credibility, then being able to say that you have a book with Penguin Random House means something to some people. I think it means a lot less than it used to. It used to be having a book was your thing. Like
But
now
used
you've
to
made
is
it.
like as little as 2 or 3 years ago kind of thing, right? Like it's...
And it's eroding, but it's still a thing, you know. Saying that you have a book with a major publisher means something. Dealing with
Distribution, obviously.
distribution, going and being able to walk into a bookstore and then seeing your book there. But if it doesn't sell, they're going to pull it and ask for refunds. Publishers.
Can you be on the New York Times best-selling author if it's self-published?
No, but at the same time, I mean, that so few books actually do that if that's your main goal, then yes, you have to go publisher. But that's a tiny window you're playing in. What else? Publishers give you editing. They give you an editing team. So making corrections on grammar. It's crazy how many mistakes I made on the grammar. Holy cow. I mean, you spotted a whole bunch, but then at least 3 times as many as you caught are in the book too.
I didn't even circle all of them because you said, last time you said, whatever. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna look at
there's
the
tons of
grammar.
mistakes. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy that I went through,
Did you rewrite the first section like I asked, or no?
actually, people love the first section. Yeah,
It's so choppy.
I gotta see.
It's so choppy, man. Just smooth it out for me. More context. Give me more words.
So you get an editor, which is great. You get help with cover design, which I didn't like my first cover, but they did it, so that's a pro. A lot less control. I mean, one, they own the book, so you don't have rights to it. I negotiated the social media rights for my book, so I can do whatever I want on social with it, but otherwise they own it. They will give you feedback on stuff that you may not like, and then you have to duke it out to see what you want to do. There was one more that I wanted to say.
So most people assume that the publisher is going to help you with marketing, with advertising, with
nothing.
building up your brand and your
Nothing.
name and everything, and they don't.
No.
They really
Marketing's
haven't
on you.
for a long time.
Yeah, that's a great point. The marketing from my first publisher was, here's a radio. I went on a bunch of morning radio shows across the U.S. for tiny little radio stations. Yeah, it was not fruitful. There was one more. What's the other
But
one?
why not start with like, hey, you're writing a book. Like, should you consider trying to get an agent? Should you?
Well, you need a
try
lit
and-
agent to get a publisher. Yeah.
Okay. So there's some steps before, like just simply.
Yeah, that's really just about getting the best deal. So it's like getting a real estate agent.
But
for
if
your
you go with a
house.
publisher, you get a cash advance, right?
Probably not,
Not
unless you have a
anymore?
big audience.
Okay.
I mean, I got one, but most first-time published authors don't get one.
Okay.
In fact, it's often like they'll ask you to commit to buying 2,000 copies of your book because they're not sure it's going to sell. So you have to buy in advance or commit X, thousands of dollars to it. I'd probably think it'd be a 5-figure buy-in for some publishers if you don't have a massive audience. The timing. The timing is brutal. Timing is brutal. Just months and months and months of what will feel like wasted time to get anything to happen. For entrepreneurs who like fast and snappy, it's going to be super frustrating working with a
Okay.
publisher.
Well, I hope that helps. Let's go to. It's the all-time champ again.
Nice.
Wow, third time he's on. Why do people have a fear of failure, even though it helps you grow? And how do you get rid of it? I think we are all afraid of something. And failure is the most obvious thing because we've done a podcast, I think. Have we done a podcast episode on fear of failure? But it ties into all of the things. Like I'm gonna fail in front of people. I'm gonna realize I'm not as good as I thought I was. Oh, it's gonna prove all of my doubts wrong. And so we're at Tony Robbins, there's 7,500 people there, and he asks a question like, hey, who has ever experienced the feeling that you're not good enough? And 7,500 achievers, people who want to grow, who want to do better, we all raise our hands. Because these are common things that we all fear. We all worry we're not good enough. We're all worried that we're going to fail and it's going to prove that we're not good enough. And so we all face it. And no amount of knowledge up in our head that rationalizes, well, I can do it, is really going to help. How do you get rid of it? What are your strategies for getting rid of that stuff?
I like everything Mark said, but the last sentence is where I was going. You're trying to rationalize something that is an emotion. You can't. Because when you could say, I'm going to go do that, I'm going to jump off that bridge, I'm going to go take that step, awesome. Then you get there and you're afraid. It's an emotion. You can't rationalize it away. The strategy is to do it. It doesn't go away. You just get more capable of handling bigger fears.
Always be jumping.
Always be jumping. When I first started filming, even in here, people asking if this is a green screen. It's not. Those are real people like walking back behind me. Yes, I put a shopping mall as my green screen. Makes sense to my channel. I was nervous that people were, even though they couldn't hear me, they were watching me. They were looking in and watching. We got lights and stuff set up, right? And now it's easy. Like, this is nothing. I don't care. With the repetition, you become more comfortable with it. So now you're able to take on bigger things. But it was get rid of it. It doesn't go away. You just are capable of handling bigger and bigger things. And by the way, you want to. Yeah, you want to. You want to be afraid.
I was going to say that,
Because that means you're doing something bigger with your life.
there you go. And you can use that fear to either stop you, but a lot of people use that fear, that nervous energy, that fear of performance, you can turn that into the fuel
Most people don't do that.
Well, but that's something to achieve. You know, like I used to be nervous. I used to be nervous about
That's what you should do.
coming on set, that things could go wrong. And then I realized that that nervous energy was something that really helped me actually stay sharp the day of and not get comfortable or not get lax in any of those things. The fear of screwing something up helps me think about all the things that can go wrong, not to stop me and overwhelm me, but to help me get in front of things and be a little bit more proactive in other things. So like, there's a lot of different ways you can leverage fear as well.
I do it differently.
Okay.
If I'm afraid of something, I wanna own my identity as I do scary things. So if I'm afraid of something, I don't rationalize it to say, well, this just helps me stay more focused and I'm gonna go crush it. It's like, no, I'm afraid of this. This is the best.
Dude, the other day,
Let's go.
I thought of you. So we're at the gym on Monday. Louis and I go down to the gym in Dallas. And I do my run. So whatever, I run 25 minutes and I push myself so hard and I'm so proud of myself. And I was like, yes. Because I usually do an all out for like 60 seconds and I did like a 2 minute and 15 all out. So like running really fast. But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some like, you know, some sit-ups and some push-ups on the, whatever, the Bosu ball and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll do, I don't know how to say it, whatever. I was like, oh, I'll do, I'm gonna do 10s. I was like, oh, I'll do 5 sets. I'll do 5 sets of 10. And then after the first one, I was like, oh man, I never should have said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's 5 sets of 10 between like a 16-pound medicine ball, like doing jumping jacks over your head and doing power sit-ups and doing all this stuff. And I was like, I should really do 3. Like 3 sets of 10. And I was like, why did I say 5 sets of 10? And I was like, okay, hold on. I can just do 3 sets of 10. I could totally, like no one knows. I haven't said this out loud. But I said 5 sets of 10.
To yourself.
And so I was really torn.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did 5 sets.
And how did you feel about yourself after?
I felt great.
Amazing, right?
I felt great, but mostly I felt super guilty because I could have just done 3.
No. What? You felt
wh-
amazing.
But why did, and so I was like kicking myself. I was like, I should have
Guys,
said
your
3.
goals don't count until they're hard.
I know.
It doesn't count until it's hard.
I know.
Mark just built up some self-love right there. That's what
I
happened.
did. I did.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself.
You should be.
I'm proud of myself.
You should
and I'm,
be.
Oh, dude, yesterday, this is so great too. Yesterday, I'm at my workout and we're setting off with a rowing challenge. Typically, we would row 800, 900, 1,000 meters. Anyway, we're doing 23 minutes of straight rowing. And so halfway through the 23 minutes, I'm like dying.
Yeah.
I'm dying, and I'm at maybe 2,200 meters. And the coach says, hey, just so you know, we're aiming for 5,000, but today the record is 5,400.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna crush that record.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the people beside me. I'm already like 1,000 meters ahead of them. I'm like, I'm
Okay.
gonna crush this. So we're going and we're going and we're going, and I pass 5,000, and then I pass 5,400, and we still have 2 minutes left.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm only 600 away from 6,000.
Let's go.
Right? And so we're going and we're going, and I start to realize like
You
I
don't have
can
enough
I can hit
time.
6,000, but I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like at the end, and I'm just going like I'm going all out, And I know because I've already counted because I'd like to find efficiencies that every pull is 10 meters.
Okay.
Anyway, she's counting down. I'm at 59, 10, 20, 30. Anyway,
Yep.
I get to 59,
You didn't
60.
get it. Nice.
And I'm so pissed at myself.
Yep.
I won. I
Yeah,
won for
yeah.
the day.
It's great,
I was
dude.
way ahead, and I'm so pissed at myself
Yeah.
because if I just started pulling a little harder,
A little sooner. Yeah.
and timed it better, I could have got 6,000. And I could have also written down 6,000.
Yep.
No one would have known.
Nope.
But instead, I got
59.90.
59.60.
Oh,
I was 4
59.60.
pulls away.
4 pulls.
I could have pulled overtime as well,
Let's
but
go,
I
Mark.
would have known that I was cheating.
Right? See? That's
And so now I'm not happy with 59.60. I was super pissed.
Yeah, but you love yourself.
I could have got 6,000.
You love yourself
I could've
more
got
because you were
6,000.
honest
Yeah.
and because you crushed the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That's how you build self-respect, self-confidence, self-love, guys, right there.
It was
Follow
fun.
Drager. Are we going to talk about how you're becoming a more positive person at some point? Is that next episode?
Oh, we could talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good topic.
We could talk about that. How I've decided that I'm an optimist. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Here we go. How does the law of attraction work? I think opposites attract as well. But how does the law of attraction work? Right? You just
No,
put
no,
out.
we talk about law of attraction, not opposite, not like
No,
relationships.
I know.
Oh,
Okay. So you tell me then. I don't actually know that much about this.
The
Put
idea
out
is-
good stuff, and good stuff comes to you. Is that it?
Well, it's more like you think about something that you want to have happen, just
Okay.
like you want to hit your goal of having 6,000 reps.
Yep.
But
And then you see
And-
yourself feeling what it's like to get to 6,000
and then you
reps.
got to go do it, and then you do it.
Yeah.
I think people miss the action part of attraction. So you got to actually then go do the work, not just think about this thing
But
happening.
what I like about Tony Robbins' approach is Okay, so the law of attraction. I want to hit 6,000. What would it feel like to hit 6,000? Oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be so proud of myself. Oh, but I'm going to fail. Oh, that's painful. No, I really want that 6,000. Now I'm going to go out and work for it. Like, I like that like, hey, it feels amazing to hit it. Oh, and then he starts to take it away from you. And you're like, no, I want that back. I want that feeling back. What are you talking about? I want that private plane membership. What does it feel like? Taste it, right? Feel it. And then take it away from you. And you're like, oh, you don't like that?
I think it's not enough of a pain that I would miss it if it was gone.
Yeah, because you're like ridiculously positive and optimistic. Okay, we got time for, potentially one last question?
One more? Okay, let's go.
One more question.
Pick a good one, Mark. Lots to pick from today.
Wow, there is.
Waiting.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
And I panicked and I picked some
panicked.
question that I don't think about.
Pick some rando. All right,
My
good luck.
friend.
Who is it from?
It's from I'm a Shark.
I'm a Shark.
I'm Shark.
This is
I'm
the
Shark.
result
I'm
of
Shark.
Mark's panic
Panicking.
situation.
Yeah, my
You got
friend
lucky.
I Swallow Cum was asking which app is the best to start with stocks. I don't know anything about investing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Our friend really likes Robinhood, is something. Michael talks all the time about Robinhood. I don't know Robinhood what.
I don't use an app. Pick another one quickly.
Okay.
Panic. Pick one.
Yeah.
I don't use a stock app to pick stocks.
Okay. Okay, here's a question for you. Do you have any experience with psychedelics?
No.
I've never done drugs in my life.
Yep. I never even smoked a cigarette in my life.
I've done that,
Never smoked a cigarette.
but I've never done pot or...
Nothing. But you wanted to. Didn't you want to?
I still do.
Didn't you want to do edibles or something?
I still do.
When's
Yeah.
that happening?
I have to create a safe space, and I have to convince my wife that she wants to try it too.
Oh, what if she doesn't want to do it? You do it on your own?
Then I might try it without her. Yeah.
Why did you do it at Tony? We could have done it in Dallas. You and Louis.
What about you?
Nah, I have no interest.
Okay. Yeah. So no, is the answer. We've never done any
Nope.
psychedelics, but it's
The
not because
closest
of
thing is-
judgment or anything. It's not. I'm not actually.
I've been hypnotized.
I'm actually pro legalization of all drugs because it reduces crime, which most of my conservative friends think is out there. But I have no moral issues against drugs.
Pro legalization of all drugs.
Yes, it's been
So-
done in Portugal, and it
Really?
Yeah.
So you can go to a Portuguese corner store and buy cocaine?
You can buy cocaine. I don't know from where, pharmacies maybe or something. But
Really?
It's been decriminalized and it's been legalized because the problem with drugs is it creates an artificial cost. It creates a value in something that's actually in abundance, and it promotes crime and other things.
So you can buy cocaine legally in Portugal?
I'm fairly certain.
Wow, did not know that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think about policies that much, to be honest.
No?
Nah.
So I don't know if it's cocaine, but I do know a few years ago, the most valuable substance on earth was cocaine. And it's used to fuel all kinds of illegal activities and violence and cartels
Makes
and
sense.
human trafficking and people going into slavery. And it literally, there's so much money to be made there, where if it was legalized, it just erodes everything. They would have to, like, all crime would have to turn to something else, but there's nothing of that kind of value. So we're actually, in our effort to make things better, we're actually making it worse. Anyway, that was a weird side note.
I'd have to listen. I'd have to listen more. I don't have an opinion on it yet.
There you go.
I have to take it in.
There you go. Thank you for joining us.
Something to Poo podcast. Mark and Evan, we love you. Believe.
If you want to see the last episode of my podcast with Mark, it's fire. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.